What's good? What's good? What's good? Here we are on another amazing episode of Con Puros Compas podcast. Su compa Carlos Rodríguez.
Y su compa el bar.
Y de volada, antes de que se nos olvide, the man on the audio, Mr. Jose Cermeño, shout out. Anda bien activado. Hoy vino con gym shorts. He just ran 3 miles.
I was about to ask him.
But he wants sausage pizza.
That's
Extra
why,
cheese.
That's why I didn't bring it. That's why I didn't bring it because I'm like, nah, bro, you're working out right now, bro.
Well, you know what? I think I know why he came with his dancing shoes on. I want to welcome our guest. Happens to be part of the fam porque el compa Rafael Castañeda es hermano de los Castañedas that have a lot to do with here at Aguacate with our boys Georgie, our compa Javi Castañeda, Inicial's very own Adrián Castañeda, and now we have Rafa Castañeda. How are you doing, brother?
Good, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah. From La Academia Mexican Dance Academy.
Yes.
Ese compa, obviously I've known this guy since forever. His whole life, probably.
La banda Azteca.
Yeah. His whole life. And aparte de que he went to the same high school we all went to. Yeah. And I also knew soccer player Rafa. He's played soccer too, G.
For 2 years or so.
Hell yeah. With my brother Valdo at Kennedy High. And it was some good stuff. And pues aparte de que he also plays the bass. I'm looking at Jose Cermeño because right now I'm just realizing this shit. Like, oh, this guy also, not just as he plays soccer like you, plays the bass like you. Pero ahorita you have your own dance group company.
Yeah. We have a dance studio over on Archer and Kenneth.
Okay.
And we focus on Mexican folkloric dance. We've been doing it for
You've been doing it for a while, too.
Yeah. Since I was 12 years old, really.
Shit.
It's a little while.
Started at Eli Winnie School in Little Village. Hay un saludo para toda la gente de Little Village.
Oh, it started as a grammar school?
Grammar school.
So Eli Whitney, do they still have that now or no?
They don't. There happened to be a guy that worked at remember the old print shop at the schools with the big machines to make copies for all the teachers back in the day?
Damn.
He was the print master, and he happened to know folklore from Mexico. So he started like an after-school thing at the school. One day we showed up to I think it was an assembly for Cinco de Mayo, and then a group came out to dance, and they were like, if anybody wants to dance show up tomorrow after school, and that's it.
That's how it all started.
Yeah.
Eli Whitney, that's a big shout out to a good friend of mine, Nacho, es cuñado de Valdo. He's a teacher there.
Yeah, he does teach there.
Yeah.
And obviously my ma.
And your mom,
Doña
of course,
Lupe Castañeda has been there for 30 years.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And Cuzzo.
Quasimodo.
Cuzzo is a very own Robert.
Robert, yeah.
You were just telling us that he's actually the guy that was like stage hands and shit.
Yeah, when we used to perform, he would be the guy handling the sound and stuff like that.
Flipping the cassette back then, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking play it.
Yeah, that's where it all started.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Y ya de ahí entonces, you personally, when you did that, because a lo que me acuerdo, like almost everybody did. Did Javi dance too? Because I know Adrián danced.
Yeah.
I know George danced.
The three of us. Javier didn't do it.
Fucking ass.
Javi, fucking
He
guy.
was too cool.
And now, and he's a dancer.
Yeah,
That guy
he
took
likes to
salsa
dance.
classes.
And bachata y todo.
When we were roommates, that guy was taking like salsa classes and everything, bro.
Yeah.
Sounds like Javi.
Sounds like Javi. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Nah, he didn't dance. It was just the three of us. It was me, Georgie, and Adrian. And we did it with that first guy from that group, we stuck with him for I think 8 years or so.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And that dude, what happened to that guy?
He actually recently passed away.
Ah.
Yeah, recently. He kept his group. He passed away recently. But after that, we joined a different group. That was our second group, which is called Mexican Dance Ensemble.
I remember
and that's pretty much where the director of that group, I think I owe it to him, where he let me kind of expand my knowledge, I guess. And he kind of let me take the group in a different direction. You know, he noticed that we had something in us, and not just me, more of the dancers as well.
And how many years were you with that then?
10.
Okay.
10 years, yeah, in that group. And we traveled all over the place in that group, all over the world for dance tours. We would meet up with groups from Mexico. We meet up over there, for example. The first one was in Portugal.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
went to Europe.
That was your first out of country trip?
yeah.
How old were you then?
I think I was, 22 or so.
Okay.
Yeah. And we danced in Portugal, and it was a whole new experience for us. We met up with a group from Mexico. We were working as one over there, and we saw and met groups, traditional folkloric groups from other countries too. So like Russian groups and Argentinian groups
Doing folkloric.
doing folkloric. They all came from like their country.
Okay.
So the people that were there from Argentina, they flew all the way from Argentina, and we would all be at these local festivals that were funded by the local governments. And then we would just work with each other, perform on the same stages, schools, different festivals throughout the cities. So yeah, that was a great experience.
So is it still now like a pretty big thing like that? Like, todavía existe all the whole going out of the country and.
It does, yeah. COVID obviously stopped it for 2 years,
Yeah.
but it does still exist, yeah. It still goes on every year, once a year. There's like worldwide organizations that se dedican a eso, to organize these festivals.
Okay. Now this is all just this is a dumb question probably, but when everything's folkloric, it's Mexican folkloric, or is it folkloric Mexican you guys and then
Yeah, like
folkloric Russian guys and folkloric?
Yeah. So everything is like, you can have Russian folkloric dance. We do Mexican folkloric dance,
Yeah.
but there's obviously, folkloric dance for any country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do they also dance with because I remember with you guys in the Azteca days, because you mentioned the Azteca days, right?
Yeah.
Since then, we actually played for you guys while you danced at a very nice theater, I think in downtown.
Harris Theater?
Is it Harris
Yeah,
Theater?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
pretty cool thing.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, so that was for Sinaloa. So being
okay.
that, La Banda Sinaloense.
Yeah.
I believe we booked you guys to play the live music for us to dance.
All the
that,
sones and
that
everything.
region.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn, that's badass.
Yeah, man, I remember that.
And it feels different as a performer. Like when you have the recording in the background is one thing, but when you have the live music, it's a whole different feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
I just didn't.
Would you say it was easier? Like
No,
you got more into it, or was it
You
harder?
get more into
You
it.
get
Yeah,
more
yeah,
into it.
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
You get
like,
more into it. Yeah.
That's
But I wouldn't say it's
badass.
easier just because sometimes the recording that you've been practicing for 6 months is like at a certain speed, and then the banda gets there and they
they're
play
fucking
faster.
nervous or
yeah.
excited.
And
Yeah.
they
And then they're
fuck up.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
But
that's
it's a
cool.
better feeling, definitely.
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I knew this to be a shout out. I don't know if my prima listens to this podcast, but mi prima Nedina at where she went to grammar school. I think it's called Canoon, something like that. And Jesse actually went there. Jesse Grandote,
Nice.
and they also did folkloric dance there.
Yeah.
And I know she did that, but I don't want to sound like an idiot here, but I just never thought it was like a big business. I just thought it was
Right.
more of a take the fucking kids to go
do
dance.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, recreational.
But I mean, and not that it's a big money business, but I'm just saying, like, man, you guys, from my memory, I mean, I had forgotten about Portugal, but when you mentioned, I remembered. The one that I never forget is Nepal.
Yeah. We went to Nepal. Yeah.
That sounded crazy.
Yeah.
Like, who, and you danced in Nepal, obviously.
Yes.
But who hires you to go to Nepal, though?
It was
Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So the first tour we went to Portugal.
Okay.
Eventually, that organization, with social media, everybody started getting connected with Facebook and stuff like that. So it was easier to get contacted by anyone that organizes a festival at the other side of the world. So we got contacted, and they were like, "Hey, you guys want to come to Nepal?" And we were eger to get some new projects going. So we took it on. And then when we got there, we were
And then you guys looked it up like, oh, shit, Nepal.
yeah. Right in between India and China. Yeah.
It's pretty poor.
It is. It's a third world country. It was a great experience, though. The people are great. They're amazing. They happened after the fact. We found out that because we were going from town to town and like through the mountains, kind of like those little pueblos in Mexico where you still
Por la
gotta go
sierra.
up por la sierra, like
Pinche
that.
Belger y así.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I thought.
Yeah,
of when
like
he
the
was saying,
old
like, I knew,
Espinazo
yeah.
del Diablo, before
Yeah.
the bridge. Yeah.
Yep.
So after we came back, we found out that like they have like the most dangerous roads in the world. And then at the festival, they had a celebration just to close up. And one of the groups that went back to, I think, India, they actually got in an accident on the road. So then afterwards, we were like, damn, that was pretty dangerous.
But what was it, like those roads that you're on the bus and you're right on the edge kind of roads?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then you
shit.
have to, if a bus is coming this way, you have to wait for one to
Yeah.
pass, and then you go, and you look down, and it's like, far away. But it was so nice because when we were up in the mountains, there's no pollution over there really. There's no money to pollute.
Yeah.
So the stars, like you look at the sky, bro, and it's like
Oh, it's
perfect.
full.
Yeah, it's full of stars. Yeah, it's badass.
There's no air pollution at all.
No, very minimal. Yeah.
And then how long were you guys in Nepal for that experience?
I think it was like a 10 or 12 day thing.
Was it tough?
It was.
What'd
I
you
remember, speaking of Robert, I remember
Oh,
because he
Robert
went with
went.
us. Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
yeah. Robert did go
Yeah,
there.
we invited him.
Yes,
Yeah,
we told that story on the pod.
yeah.
Wow.
I remember he went, and I
He
know
did
that.
go.
Mhm.
I forgot about that.
He was playing.
Was he
trumpet.
performing?
Yeah, he was playing
performing
trumpet on that trip.
Yeah.
I know he was struggling to eat some of the food, because
Yeah.
you show up to a different country, everything's different.
It's tough to eat grasshoppers, man.
Yeah, the food is like how it's in between China and India. La
Okay.
comida, haz de cuenta, it's the mix of those two. Yeah, it's like Chinese with Indian mixed.
Un poquito de gato y un poquito de...
I mean, it's good, but yeah,
Good cat.
it's different, bro. It's a different experience.
It's a field cat.
Yeah.
It's like my compa Fry. He goes to Mex and he eats field rats.
Field rats.
And he's like, oh, but they're vegan. Oh, okay.
Del Monte.
Kind of same thing.
Yeah. And then the power would go out too, and like the hotel, you're chilling, and then the power goes out. Doosh.
And then the washrooms I heard were tough.
Yeah, the washrooms are tough, man.
Yeah.
The sanitation is different,
It's different.
Some of the festivals were like, hey, where's the bathroom? It's like, oh, over there, and they put a like a little carpa with 3 pieces of wood on the floor around the tree. So they just make like a little box out of a lona, and then they put a hole in the floor, and that's like the festival bathroom.
The festival one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the bathroom is just like back in the day in Mexico,
Back in the
Cuando no
day,
back
in
the
general,
day.
probably.
In general,
Yeah.
It's just a hole in the floor, and I guess cuando está lleno lo tapan y hacen otro.
Oh,
Yeah.
sheesh.
When was that? When you guys were in Nepal?
Man,
How,
I think
how
it was.
long ago?
I think it was 20.
What year?
I don't want to. 2012 maybe. Por ahí. 2011, 2012. Yeah.
I mean, I remember one of my very first times going to Mex, back in Michoacan. I remember that you had to shit in a hole and then fucking cover it, or they would burn it or whatever. The fuck
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. Yeah, es otro pedo, It's a good experience, though, because, like, I feel like sometimes we're here and we take things for granted,
Oh, for
And when you
sure.
go out like that, you
It humbles
appreciate
you.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we got off the airplane and just the airport, like, just getting your maleta, it was, like, hectic. Because they don't have, like, all the organization that we have out here, So you had to kind of, like, look for your maleta and, like, just run around people and grab it. There's nobody to point, like, oh, go this way, go that way. Y getting on the bus, like, there's no real direction on the road. It's just everyone's driving. Y I remember,
God damn.
nunca se me olvida que no tienen zapatos. Muchos de los niños no tienen zapatos. They're just shoeless, So that's
Just
when I
in
was,
general? They're
in general,
just
in
shoeless,
general.
walking around.
It's just it's normal, to just have no shoes. I remember that a lot, and I also remember because speaking of my brother Georgie,
Yeah.
Georgie pasa los zapatos luego, like he would be like, hey, you want these shoes? I'm like, these are brand new, bro. Yeah, but I don't use them no more. Yeah, people were like, no tienen zapatos. Y también me acuerdo mucho they were making some construction in una casa, and just to get like from the house to it was like a new house, I think, and to get from the house to the sewer, like the main sewer on the street.
Okay.
The guy was like working with un martillo y un chisel, just to make that little hole for
Oh,
the pipe.
to run the...
Yeah, to run the pipe.
Oh, shit.
Something that here you would do with a grinder or with a concrete saw, So it humbles you, definitely, man. That was a
10
good
days in Nepal.
one. Yeah, 10 days.
And then for that particular one, was it different folklorics, or was it just you guys, or how did...
No, yeah, it was a lot of countries.
Sí, eran
yeah,
muchos.
Yeah, muchos.
So it was hectic as it was.
Yeah.
Just because of the amount of people.
The amount of people.
And it's packed there anyway.
Yeah,
in
it's
Nepal.
packed. And
Yeah.
the people go, bro, to these performances, se llena. Because it's like, I guess that's some of the, like, minimal entertainment that they have,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the performances were packed. I remember that one of the stages are made out of, I guess it's bamboo. The structure.
Yeah.
And I remember when our group was doing Danza Azteca, se metieron unos guys abajo, like to hold on to the...
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Just because it was shaking.
Yeah.
So they were like, hey, so se metieron como 4 or 5 guys abajo del stage just to hold on to everything.
Ah,
yeah,
la
bro.
verga.
Pues,
Yeah,
abuelos
yeah.
mexicanos,
Quiebre la
andaban
chingada.
chinga, yeah.
Yeah.
What other countries you been to, bro? Portugal, Nepal?
Portugal, Nepal, France,
France, nice.
Taiwan.
Taiwan, that must have been a cool.
Yeah, that was a cool
thing
one too. Dubai was a nice one too.
Oh,
It was in
Dubai.
the early
Sounds
Dubai
rich.
years.
Oh,
pero, yeah,
not
yeah.
as rich.
Yeah, not as rich. Like, but now it's way more developed than it was back then. But still, like,
Right.
it was dope. Yeah.
Not as developed. They've always been rich. Those guys.
Yeah, Dubai was nice. We haven't gone to Italy. That's like the one that I have an itch for.
Okay.
Italy. We never gone to perform. To
Did you
Italy.
mention Italy? I don't know why I thought something Italy came up. You're not
No.
working on Italy or anything like that? Or
I
did you
can't-
just say that? Like, I really want to go to Italy.
I really want to go to Italy.
Okay.
Yeah. I plan to, but I'm just waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So that you do all this stuff. This is fucking, what do you got, like, then a little bit over 20 years experience, let's just say?
Yeah, about 20 years. Yeah.
And now you have your own, which is La Academia.
Yeah.
And you're the director, you're the
Yeah.
owner, whatever. I
Right, I'm
mean,
a director.
the title is, yeah.
Yeah, so it took a while to get from where we were then. So back in the day, it was like you said, like it's something for the kids to do, Like
Yeah.
that's what it was for my parents. Well, let's take them to so they could do something para que no anden en la
Para
calle.
que no anden en la calle.
Yeah. But I
Que
feel
no ande
like
pinche Rafa en la 28 y Pulaski.
en la 20 ahí en Sinaloense, en la esquina.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays I realize that it's something that's important to like people, first, second generation Mexican Americans. They want their kids to be involved in the culture,
Yeah.
So it's, the challenge was how do you fund all this? It's still a challenge, right? But it's getting I would say it's getting a little bit easier because of that mentality shift where like back in the day, probably parents would be like, I'm not going to pay for this, right? This is because in school in Mexico,
Es gratis.
Es gratis. Es
Yeah.
like parte
Es parte
de la
la
escuela.
Yeah.
Sí.
Kind of like Eli Whitney.
Yeah.
Let's just say, right? In a way?
Yeah, so it's like, ¿por qué voy a pagar? Like for example, my mom's generation. Like, why am I going to pay for something that I used to get for free? And it's
Yeah.
understandable.
You know what? You're right, bro. You would hear all like I would hear like my dad or my uncles like that they had the danza and they
Sí.
did those viejitos and they did this and
yeah.
that and shit like that.
Because they would do
right?
it in school.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like the challenge became, how do you fund all this? But now that parents want their kids to be involved, it's getting a little easier. But we just have to help the community, kind of like our community, Mexican American community, kind of understand. Because it's easy for them to be like, my kid goes to karate. Oh, ¿cuánto cuesta? Oh, 300 al mes. And it's all good, And,
Right.
or soccer, o lo que sea. But once I started meeting people outside of our community, they were like, I was like, hey, what do you think? I have a friend, Patrick.
Shout out, Patrick.
Yeah, shout out to Patrick. He's a great piano
Is that the
player.
piano guy?
Yeah, the piano.
Yeah, we got to bring that guy on too, man.
Yeah,
Heard
yeah,
great
yeah.
things about you, Pat.
Yeah, Patrick. He's dope. So I talked to him one day. I was like, just you tell me how much you think a program that involves these many classes per week should cost. And right away, like the cost in his mind was
Like $500, $1,000.
I think he was like $250 minimum.
Yeah.
And it's the culture. It's the difference of culture. If you go and you try to put your kid into a ballet class,
There you go. That's a great.
It's gonna be
That's a great
$200,
comparison.
$300.
Yeah.
Or Irish dance, lo que sea. But I think we're getting there, and that's kind of like one of my missions,
Well, I think you're at a good time.
Mm-hmm.
This not too many of us first generations anymore that still might be like, nah, fuck that,
Yeah.
Now you're getting a lot of the second and third and fourth generations that be like, I think it has a lot to do with what was I seeing the other day, man? I was seeing how they were saying like, okay, well, my mom, your mom, obviously, you guys, parents, all of our parents are fluent in Spanish.
Yeah.
And for the most part, we are too.
Right.
But the third, fourth, and fifth might not be.
Might not be, yeah.
Yeah, like at all.
The no
Yeah.
sabos.
Yeah.
Yo
You
no
know,
And
sabos.
right now there are no sabos, but
Yeah.
in another couple generations, they're just bam,
Not
zero
gonna-
Yeah, it's
at
gonna
all.
be just English.
Because now they
yeah.
can at least say no sabo and they know what the fuck it means, but in a couple more, they're not.
Yeah.
So I do feel that maybe in a way, it's a little bit of trying to save the culture in a way
Yeah.
within the generation thing, the
I think
family.
you're right. Yeah, because there's a lot of kids that don't speak Spanish. Even
Right.
with me, like some of the parents when they come in, they're like, "Hey, do you do your classes in English too?" Because she don't speak Spanish or English. But I tell the instructors like, do both, so that those kids
Right.
that don't know, they can learn a little bit of Spanish. But yeah, back in the day, like we used to get in trouble. I mean, you used to know my dad, so My dad was really strict.
Yeah.
So if we would
Aquí no hablan inglés.
a huevo.
Yeah, one of those.
Ah, huevo.
Yes,
Aquí no hablan
I
inglés.
remember that.
En esta casa se habla español.
Español nomás. And if
That's
we
how
would
it
speak
was,
English,
man.
Yes.
he would hear it. Si estaba en la cocina, he would come and be like, "Hey, what did I tell you?"
Yeah.
En la casa, puro español. I was, all right. So and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked because we speak both languages. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect timing for you, man, pues para agarrar más niños y más teenagers and everything.
Yeah.
So what are the age?
So we take students anywhere from 4 years old and up. Yeah, right now. Yeah, so 4 plus.
And what's the most in age? No, there's no limit.
I mean,
So if
no.
Bart wants to fucking go,
Fuck yeah.
He can come. Yeah, I had to perform the other day myself. Saturday.
That's what I was gonna ask. How
Yes.
long? When did you stop performing? Is
So
it just
I stopped. I mean, I stopped probably when I was like, I don't know, 30.
last year.
No, I'm 36 now. I'm gonna be 37. Pero, I have to dance sometimes because I don't have guys.
Yeah.
It's hard. Finding girls to perform to dance. Está fácil. Pero finding the guys, and I think that's a cultural thing too. Finding the guys. Está
You're
más-
right, man.
Yeah, está más
What,
difícil.
you're a dancer?
Sí,
One of those, huh?
I've heard it all, bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh, shit. Pero, yeah, so like the other day there was this bautizo, and they hired us. They wanted viejitos because they were from Michoacan. And my fat ass had to dance viejitos. The next day I was all sore. But I mean, I enjoy it, I enjoy it. So it's cool. But I mean, I guess I just got to work out with your boy right here.
Jose,
Yeah.
get on it.
go.
Sí, pa perder
Paco.
unas pounds.
he's gonna take you to he'll take
Go
you
with
to
more.
work out and you'll take him to dance.
dance.
Bro,
Yeah.
that'll be great, Jose.
Sheesh.
Paco used to dance?
There you go. You got two guys.
Yeah, bro.
Two guys automatically. Dumb question.
Sammy.
Dumb question just because we're smoking too, right? But is it very, very difficult to dance with that glass of water on your head? Or what do they put on their head?
Oh, sí. Like
Is
en
that
la
the women?
bruja. Yeah, so you could do it. Different regions have it también for guys, like con una botella en vez de un vaso.
Okay.
But there is la bruja from Veracruz. They do it with a glass of water, and it's not that hard. It's easier than it seems, pues.
That's
it
why,
has to
yeah.
have a certain amount of water in there.
Is that part of the
Yeah,
thing?
so it can balance out on top of your head. Yeah.
Whenever,
Let's try it, compa.
whenever
We
I
got
see
about this much in the cup right now. Let's
whenever
try
I
it.
see the girls at the rancho, I'm like, she used to do folkloric dancing, bro. With the
They got the
can,
bottle. Oh,
they got
yeah,
the
yeah,
can,
yeah.
the modelo que le
Well, that's in a lot, though,
You don't
man. I
fool
see
me.
A lot of people
Ella
doing
bailaba.
it now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not that hard, pero some people also put like a little bit of glue abajo to help
Okay.
the friction.
Hey, fucking
But-
people out here cheating.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then technically, when did you start with La Academia? When did that happen
So
for
La
you?
Academia started, I would say it was like 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah, I just took it on. I had along the way I had a couple different partners, but it's always easier to do your own thing.
Right.
We all have different specific visions, so I found it easier that way. And we've been around since then, 2016.
And then do you have like, it's you and then there's other teachers?
Yeah, so some of the members that we call it the first company, they're the performers. Some people call it the big group or the adult group.
Okay.
Some of those individuals, they teach the little kids. So everything that they're learning, in their classes, then they take it. Sometimes we simplify it for kids, but they are the teachers to the little kids.
What is it required? How many days a week do you guys practice or get together or?
So for the big kids, I'm super strict with attendance. Like I tell people on their first day, if you can't commit to our practice and performing, obviously, and there's like an emergency,
Right.
or anything academic that has to do with school, it's all good. But we meet twice a week for 2 hours, and then we have performances like all the time. And we expect them to be at performances.
Twice a week, 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah, and then the little kids, the programs, we found that Saturday programs work best. I feel like most parents are off work. We do have a class on a weekday, but it's a struggle sometimes. Because I get it, parents have other kids. They have
Yeah.
to get out of work. They got to pick them up, feed them. And
Get 'em
then
ready for the next
get 'em
day.
Ready for, yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have that Saturday program. I think is the strongest one. Yeah, the most attendance, and I feel like that's what most parents are interested in.
And then what are you at now? Like how many students would you say are part of your
Right
program?
now we have about, in total, I would say about 35 to 40 members.
Okay.
You know, including like everybody included. We do, we're looking to grow that number. But like I said, it's pretty much wait. I feel like I have to wait a little bit for everyone to catch up to to be willing to make that membership fee, because that's where from there everything trickles.
Are you
down.
okay with mentioning what the fee is here, or would you rather them hit you up? Or
Yeah, no, sure, I can mention it. For our kids between the ages of 4 and 7, it's
Okay.
a $90 monthly membership fee.
90,
Right,
90.
Yeah, 90. And for the kids older than that, they have 2 classes per week, and we're at 125. Yeah. So I mean, I started at 30 though.
Oh,
and
shit.
when I started at 30, I got a lot of
A lot of fucking like
people were like, "Why are you charging for this?
Ah.
This is not supposed to be. This is supposed to be free." And I was like, "Yeah, but how do you? If it's free, how do you fund it? You know?" There is a not-for-profit direction you could do, but it's always a struggle with that. And then you have to meet certain requirements that
Yeah.
might not even be your vision, but then you're meeting them just because you need the funds.
Right.
And that's somewhere where I didn't want to get stuck. But I feel like with these next generations coming up, I think they're gonna be a little bit more understandable, and then we can get to that number that we need to be at.
a particular number. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that makes all the sense in the world, man, because there's so many. And you know what? You hit it right in the dot when you said ballet. I never thought about ballet until you just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Because down the street on 6th and Central, there's a ballet school there.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure fucking it's a good monthly there, you know?
Yeah, you're not gonna walk in there and pay $50.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably more like 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds more
So
like
once
it.
you have,
And you have your own studio too. I mean, it's the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, it's the same
It's
thing.
not like you're saying, hey, we're meeting up in my fucking yard.
exactly
Or your
Yeah,
garage.
or yeah,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
back in the day, like in a church. You
In a
know?
church.
Yeah, because the churches, they want to help out, but that's what it was back in the day in the church.
Were you at San Antonio, he's asking?
San Antonio, no,
Probably not.
no. Yes. Yes.
Oh, there you go. Esa Señora del Monte.
Yeah, so it's a small world, But yeah, I think that when we get to that right number as a community, when we understand, then it's gonna be easier for us, and we could be more effective with everything.
And
Better
then-
costumes, better location.
And well, I know I've hired you a couple times to do like the Remax Festival. Big shout out to our people at Remax in Berwyn.
Sure, shout out.
But other than that, I mean, I know you do other shows to like. Is that part of what obviously you want the parents to see that there's shows going on for the kids?
Yeah, yeah.
It's como un partido, right? You practice twice a week so you can
So
go
you
and
go
play
play.
set,
Yeah, of
your
course.
play game.
Yeah, so it's really important for us to have to give the kids a platform, where they can perform for their family members. It helps them with their confidence too. There's a lot of parents that come and say like, man, when my kid started when she was 5, she was really shy. And now that she's 10 and she's been dancing,
Yeah.
like she's not shy anymore at school with other friends. So we do have performances anywhere from 2 times to 3 times a year in a theater.
Okay.
And then we get a bunch of invitations to festivals and stuff. One of them being the Remax
Yeah.
Festival. There's another one in Indiana that we go to. So yeah, I always make sure that the parents and the students have somewhere to perform, because they work hard. Like they practice for 3 months to do a performance for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then are you guys, how does that work with performances? Are you okay with, like, anyone can call you to do like a random, like a private, like say, hey, you
Yeah.
know what, I'm going to get married, but I want to see this folkloric dance?
Yeah, so that's another thing that's changing a lot. A lot of people now are hiring folkloric groups for their weddings, for their
Yeah, I
baptism.
can see that.
Yeah,
That's fucking cool.
they want
It's
they want
different
that
too, man.
tradition. Yeah.
The tradition, it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, it's something different. And then a lot of quinceañeras too. In the past like 5 years, a lot of quinceañeras want their vals to be folklorico. They want the chambelanes instead of like back in the day with us, a suit with like a black suit with a baby blue tie or
Hell
whatever.
yeah, with the vest.
Yeah, and the vest. Now it's oh no, the chambelanes are gonna be vestidos de charro, and I want my dress to be folklorico, and it's like they like that. They like the traditional.
Then have you had parties that like reach out to you to choreograph like the chambelanes and
Yeah.
damas or no?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Where it's not your dancers, it's the
It's,
ex.
yeah, it's not our dancers.
That's got to
They
be
just-
tough, man.
yeah,
Because mostly all those chavales, they be fucking up the merengues and the salsas and all
It
that
was
shit.
hard just to get the
It's-
the steps.
Dude,
to
it's
walk
so,
in, to
it's
walking
so rare
in.
at the privates.
Yeah.
Like, dude's going left and then the other guy's going right, and it's like, man, you're fucking it up.
Yeah, so now con folklore, pues es un poquito más cabrón, you know? But,
Well, yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, but I tell some of the dancers with us, they get those invitations. Well, they get hired for that too. Hey, can you do my quinceañera? And then the parents and the quinceañera, they want folklorico. So we just have to simplify it and make it work to have a good
For
show.
the party,
you know?
yeah.
Because ellos no bailan esto, you know. So, yeah.
How many, were you chavelan?
I only did it like
Hell yeah.
maybe like 3 times.
Oh, that's a good amount, bro.
For like I did, but 2 of them were like in Mexico. In Mexico, the valses ain't really. It's just like you walk in, and you guys do the circle.
Oh,
and that's
you didn't do
about
baile
it.
sorpresa.
No, I think that came a little bit later. I think
That was
I think
more
when we were-
Americanized?
Yeah. No, well, the only time
Now
I
they
did
do
it
it,
here
right?
it was like I think I was like 15 and shit.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's probably
You
the
were
age
part of
everybody-
bailes, Jose? Damn!
She's a pro.
You were probably good looking back then.
Wow.
Well, no, that's how it
You
worked,
just told
right?
me he's not good looking now.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow.
You got me. You got me there,
You're
bro.
a jerk. We're gonna get Jose on the camera so you guys can see that
How good looking
is
he
good
is.
looking.
Well,
Opa,
because I'm
weird.
saying I
Called him
only did
ugly.
one. You know, but I wasn't good looking like you. You did 5. And I think I fucked it up too, man.
I'm sure you did.
Just for that, we're probably gonna go and fucking sign up. At least to
down?
do exercise, man. Es una pinche madriza ahí.
Yeah.
What
Opa quiere
a-
el Zumba.
Zumba, no.
That's what you should try, compadre.
I just always thought that folkloric dancing was interesting. It was different. I enjoy it more with the live music because I
Yeah.
also seen you guys dance with a mariachi,
Yeah.
and you know it is I think it's you know you guys are the dancers obviously, but the adrenaline rush and the people are into it like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because there are some old recordings, right? Like I've never here's another question for you. When I hear the recordings, is it because you guys want to use the original one because it's like 1930s and it's kind of like,
Yeah,
you know,
it sounds like crap. Yeah.
yeah.
Bro. So
Or did no one just remake it?
I think they just didn't remake it.
Okay,
or,
okay.
Yeah,
I
but
wasn't
we
sure.
stuck. I know what you're talking about because, like, even now there's recordings and it's like, you know, you can't even hear it. It's all
Saying like
unequalized.
when it's like staticky and
Yeah,
shit like
a
that. Yeah,
recording from
that's cool.
1954
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
So you can't really hear it, but people are working on remaking all those those songs.
badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can find a lot of them now on YouTube. But there's still those like because there's regions that are more popular, like polkas, you know, like Chihuahua or Jalisco or Veracruz. So those more popular ones, they all pretty much all of them have their
Right.
remade music. That's equalized property and everything.
Yeah.
But you still have like those other regions like that are more unique, like Tierra Caliente, like Guerrero, like those.
Is there a
less
Chiapas?
popular- Chiapas, and those you're gonna have like old recordings.
Yeah.
You know, and to have somebody remake you, like a Yucatan piece, which is like a whole orchestra. Where are you gonna remake that? You know? Yeah. So.
And then as far as the cultural part, how important is that to you to project to the students? Like, you know, I'm just kind of wondering, like, is it just strictly dance, or do you also try to like drop a little knowledge as far as the cultural part, like what they're
Yeah.
dancing to?
Yeah, so we do try to make sure that the students know, like, what region they're dancing.
Yeah, because
what state.
When they're dancing the state, they come out and introduce it, right?
Yeah,
Or- or-
Sometimes they'll be like, oh, you know,
That's how, yeah.
this is Guerrero, and sones de tarima, you know, from this
Yeah.
region. And when you go to places, performances like, for example, universities or stuff like that, people like to hear the info. As
Yep.
opposed to going to a quinceañera and they're already from Michoacán. and
Yeah, they
want
already know,
viejitos,
yeah.
They already know what's up, right? Yeah, but
that's a good point, man.
yeah, we do try, especially with my older dancers. Sometimes I discover that they don't know, and then I'll be like, "How do you not know?" So then I break it down for them. And I'm no expert, but it's always good. I always try to like learn what I don't know, you know. But yeah, I think it's important that they do know why they're dancing this. At least, especially the little kids, at least the name of the state they're dancing. You know, why they're wearing that costume that they're wearing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because obviamente el vestuario también obviamente cambia.
Ya cambia por región.
Right.
Yeah. cada vestuario. Cada región tiene su vestuario.
And then how do you go about that, man? The wardrobe. Like, where do you find all that wardrobe nowadays? Do you have to go to the motherland? Is there somewhere here?
So there's people that make it here. Obviously, it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Right. And but I do have a few contacts in Mexico that make it there for us. One person in particular in San Luis Potosí, he's a great. He's a sastre. He has a boutique, but with his own designs. But most of his work, because he's so good, and he was a dancer his whole life too, is folklorico stuff. Oh, yeah. So I'll be like, I'll do a little sketch, a little drawing or something, or I'll tell him like, man, like I just imagine. For example, we did some Jalisco dresses, and I was like, I want it to look like a pearl, like the tela. So he gets it right away. So he gets me a tela that looks like has a shimmer like a pearl, right?
Yeah.
And I just send them colors and stuff like that, and he makes them. Yeah.
Brings them to life.
Yeah. He makes them from scratch.
Approximately how many different region dances is there, or it gets more popularized? I don't know how that works.
Yeah. So
how many dances is that?
I mean, there's got to be over 100, bro.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
yeah.
I know there's a lot of regions
30
or states and all
Yeah,
that.
32, and then you want to multiply every little state. Every state has like a different region.
Okay.
Yeah. For example, in Guerrero, you have La Costa Chica. That's one region where the girls have skirts and these shirts with Shakira beads designs on them. Shakira is just a little rock, not the singer Shakira.
Oh,
Shakira, yeah.
That's what I was picturing.
You're like, wait.
No. Yeah, not a rock. It's a bead. So they make these designs out of these little beads.
Okay.
Like there's towns that everybody just makes.
That's all they do.
That's all they do, and people go there and buy those for the shirts.
And that's Guerrero, you said?
Yeah, it's shared by Guerrero and Oaxaca. Those two, but so Guerrero has that, and then has Tierra Caliente, which is a completely different costume and completely different instrumentation, you know? And then they have the danzas, like the native stuff. So, yeah, it's a lot of different.
And then do you just, how do you go about picking what you're going to dance to? Like, do you say, you know what, I'm going to pick these 16? Or like...
Yeah, so it's
is
really...
it more like the popularized ones, or how do you go about that?
Yeah, so there's things that we already know people want to see.
Yeah.
Like, Jalisco is just one of them. The charro with the girls with the long dresses y las faldas. Like, everybody wants to see Jalisco. You know, even if you go abroad, it's like they recognize Mexico por el mariachi. But right now, what's really getting popular is las polcas too, lo norteño.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, right? Because people go to bailes and stuff. People wear cowboy hats.
We go back to the new generation,
The new
right?
generation likes it. Yeah,
It's what they're listening to as well.
Listening to, so that's getting really popular right now. Polkas. Yeah, pretty much those two. Viejitos, people from Michoacán, like
never-ending
yo quiero
viejitos, man.
en mi
Yeah.
fiesta. Right now, the lady that hired us for Saturday just called me like, "Hey, thanks a lot. Everybody love viejitos because they're from Michoacán."
And then
like,
it's a whole thing, bro. I love the wardrobe.
Yeah.
You know, the hitos. That you guys got the cane and everything,
The
right?
cane, las máscaras.
Las
we have
máscaras.
by hand, yeah.
You know what? I think I was confusing that. Well, not confusing, but do they also put like a candle on top of their head?
So it's the same dance with the water.
Okay.
So the story goes that it was a glass full of water under the moonlight.
Okay.
But then to represent that on a stage at one point, somebody put a candle because the moon would reflect in the water. Right?
Yeah.
So to represent that, somebody said, "Okay, we'll put a
The
candle."
reflection.
Yeah. So the light. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that just now because I see the folkloric dancing, and I guess I could say that the reason I've seen it throughout my life is more because of you guys, you know, because I knew, Georgie was in it, Adrian was in it, you guys were hardcore. Some of the, I don't want to say some, maybe one or two guys were from Banda Valle Verde.
Okay.
Also are dancers. I seen him at the Remax, I think, one year. He used to play the trumpet. I can't remember his name.
Oh, is it Paulino?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paulino's a dance. Yeah, he danced. He used to dance back in the day with us together in that one group, with the first teacher, the one that recently passed.
Okay.
Este grupo se llamaba Macuilxochitl.
Okay.
Yeah, en ese grupo we were practicing at a Gads Hill Center in Pilsen first, and then from there we went to Epiphany on 25th. And, what is that?
Central Park. No, like
Keeler and 25th, I think.
Yeah, by Los Gallos over there, right?
Behind Los Gallos. And that's where we met Paulino. But yeah.
Yeah, man. So I always thought, because I've seen it not a whole bunch of times, but enough times to like really look at like, okay, well, this is not just like, to me, it's not just like a dance thing, right? Like, I don't know how it works, how it breaks down with La Academia. And, that's why I say, oh, do you have the teachers? How do you go about your wardrobe? Another thing with the women, man, the makeup. Like, I think it's always very, very on point.
Yeah.
And always very, very, like, loud.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense or
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, so
And sorry, bro. Even like the hairstyles, bro. Like it's always very tight.
yes.
Obviously, because they're dancing, they're not gonna want the fucking loose
yeah,
hair,
the hair
right?
to be loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But
every
it-
region has a different hairpiece that we have to make by hand.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, so all of that I was looking at, I'm like, that's where I kind of appreciate the dance ensemble as a whole because
Yeah.
it's not just the dancing.
Nah.
And I seen you guys not seeing you guys get dressed right, but you guys are dressing like fast.
In between the dances, yeah.
Marisa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
How do you go?
Especially-
Yeah, go ahead.
Especially the point of the hair pieces for
Yeah.
the girls, like I mean, to the point where I learned how to make everything because like you have to have the whole group make it, because every region, every different dance has a different one. So you got to make braids out of yarn, right? And then you have to have liston, and then this region, the it's called a tocado, the hairpiece.
Yeah.
This region has the tocado goes this way, it's crossed, and it's gonna be this color. So I end up braiding everything by hand.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
and then, so for each different region, for each dancer, they need one. Yeah,
And then when does that come in? Is that during class? Like, hey, you know what, guys? Today we're not gonna fucking dance.
We're
You're
gonna
gonna learn
do-
how to do this.
when it's an
braid.
emergency, pero we usually we do a day just for that. Yeah.
Okay.
I started doing with the younger moms with our kids. I mean, they're most of them are probably my age or younger. I started doing like just things to like give them an incentive to meet up and like all of us work on them together.
Okay.
I did like a tocados and mimosas day, and
Oh,
it kind of
cool.
worked. Yeah.
that's
So like I served up mimosas, and everybody went, and we all worked on tocados.
Oh,
Things
that's
like that,
fucking cool.
yeah.
I wonder how that when most of parties get pretty crazy. Nowadays everybody came
Mimosa
out of there
limit.
pretty- yeah,
It was a limit.
All right, you had too many. You got to slow down. That's badass.
That is cool. I've always wondered about that. And then do you have somebody overseeing the makeup, or how does that work, bro? Or does that even? Not that it doesn't matter, because I think it does, right? But like, how do you go about that?
Yeah, so it's usually like one of the dancers.
Like a head dancer or female?
Yeah, a female dancer that's probably been with us the longest. I like the natural tones as far as makeup goes.
Yeah.
But you could get crazy, like you could get louder with
Yeah.
colors. But we usually do like a test on one of them. And then we'll be like, all right, girls, this is what you need to do. They have to practice it. If
So
they're
there is like a testing then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have to do a couple, and then we'll be like, yeah. Like, some makeup looks good under lighting in a stage, in
Okay.
a theater, and that same makeup might not look good at a festival.
At a natural lighting.
Yeah,
Outside,
natural lighting.
yeah.
So you have to have, like, 2 different options at least. Yeah.
How another thing that shit just keeps popping into my head away. I keep remembering this, but how do you go about teaching or letting the kids know or your students know if there is a mess up, if there is a big screw up,
Yeah.
to just like overcome it and just because I've seen like little kids like que se les cae el pinche sombrero o que a la mujer,
El
and they're
pañuelo.
just bad. They're just
Yeah.
they're on it. Where I would be like more worried about where I fucked up,
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean, it happens, especially with little kids, but, you do teach them, like, if you guys mess up, don't make a face. If your pañuelo falls or your hat falls, pick it up right away. But it's just a matter of practicing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, with time, they get it. They get it. There's actually one of our older dancers, and she was at the beginning. She started like 6 months ago. And in the beginning, like, she would mess up a step, and she would make a face. So I'm like, you're telling everybody you messed up because of your face.
Yeah.
But nobody really knows that you messed up, And it's just a matter of practice and getting into that habit.
It's kind of the same thing with music when you mess up, right? Like if you're gonna, no one out there really knows when you messed
Right.
up and shit.
Nomás los músicos.
Nomás los
Yeah.
músicos.
Yeah. So you just got to keep going. Yeah.
And then other than that, if they wanna, like, is there like you have your Facebook?
Yeah, so we have our Facebook is La Academia. Sorry, our Facebook is La Academia, a Mexican Dance Academy, and our Instagram is La Academia Mex Dance, and they could send a message through there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I have a feeling that not that this podcast is viewed by millions and whatnot,
Not yet.
11 million.
but
Not yet.
I do think way that the our generation, or maybe you, because I'm an older motherfucker. I'm old folks here. So like you guys and
You
Jose
were still the one
Cermeños,
like, I'm not paying that much.
I don't know about that, bro.
I'll do 50. I'll do 50.
Pero sí, güey, o sea, I think that this is the generation, man. Like this is the one that says, you know what? Let's do it because I don't want to put her in ballet. Like
Yeah.
ballet? Like, man, if we have parents out there that got their daughters in ballet,
sure.
stop. Stop right now. Fucking call my boy Rafa. They should be dancing some folkloric, man.
For sure.
In a way, good thing I have Gael because, well, you take it's
Yeah.
both.
Obviously, we have
man.
more girls than boys, but we're always looking for boys, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
G. You're going to be dancing for Código.
Ese güey no va a parar, man. He's too hyper right now. That's another thing, man. I mean, I think that the kids are so disciplined that fucking 4 or 5 years
4
old and
years
they're
old.
fucking bam, they're on it. And they got serious faces and shit and
Mm-hmm.
they're focused,
Yeah.
man. Like the times that I've seen them, they are focused.
Yeah.
And it's very impressive at the young age how focused they are, man. Y pues aparte de que pues big props to all the parents, you know, the parents that are going to watch this because I do feel that it starts somewhere. So it starts with them
Yes.
taking the kids, and it starts with them. Aparte de taking them, like putting in the work, man, putting in the time, getting to know what it's all about, doing the hair pieces, taking them to the presentations, just being part of the cheering squad at the end, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's the other side, man. That, you know, yeah, I see you guys dance, I see the performance. But on the whole other side, bro, you have all the families that are way more nervous than the kids, man.
Yeah.
And they got all the phones around, and it's like, holy shit, when it's done, you know, they're obviously super proud of their kids. And that's the thing that can go obviously unnoted because it's their kids, right? So we're
Yeah.
all looking at the kids. But when I'm seeing it from the outside, you know, I want to shout out the parents for
sure.
taking that initiative to just start with you as well, and you and anything that has to do with the culture and to keep it up to date in the new generations, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Like the parents, that's where it starts, you know. Some parents, they'll be like, oh, pues es que no sé si le gusta. But I'm
Right.
like, well, he's 4, she's 4, you know, bring them in for a month, and then they might like it. And they usually like to stay because they're making friends and stuff like that.
And then for now, just because you mentioned that month, is it kind of on a monthly basis with you so far, kind of thing?
Yeah, so it's a monthly membership fee.
Nice.
We kind of found that doing contracts and stuff like that,
It's scary.
it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's why I don't go to gym either, bro.
yeah, and the monthly. That's me and you both. Bro.
Yeah, bro. No. Well, I gotta sign this shit. I'm good, bro.
Yeah, so the membership fee every month works. Sometimes parents are like, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna be out of town for whatever for a month. So is it cool?" Like, yeah, don't worry about it. So we just make it work. With COVID, a lot of parents were like, "I lost my job," you know.
Oh yeah.
Like, can I? So I try to make it work for everybody. Like, I tell parents like, well, the important thing is for your child to keep dancing. If it's about some hardship with finances, we could figure it out, you know,
Yeah.
another way, you know. But yeah,
That's badass.
yeah,
That's badass because at the same time, I also think, you know, that's it's kind of like that family-owned small business. Like, I'm gonna work with you. Don't worry.
yeah. for
Because
sure.
anything else, you know, you go to the ballet school, they're gonna be like, "Hey, sorry,
didn't pay, you can't
you're
come."
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she can't
no,
come
yeah.
anymore."
Yeah, for sure.
I know that we have. We'll drop it here right now. Also, that you have an event coming up at the end of May.
Yes, May 30th.
So, Jose, you got to buy some tickets, man.
For sure.
May 30th.
May 30th, we have
Announce
an
it.
event. Yeah.
Rafa.
May 30th, we have Cinco de Mayo Fiesta. It's going to be at Thalia Hall. It's Monday, Memorial
Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doors open at 2 p.m. And there is an Eventbrite link for ticket purchases.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if we can share that somewhere.
Yeah, when the episode comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll share it on
You
our
send me
page
the
too.
link?
Yeah. It's going to be an indoor festival, basically. We have performances on stage, folklorico performances, mariachi. We're going to have some groups. We're going to have vendors, art vendors.
So when you say festival, you mean like Literally a indoor festival.
Yeah, indoor festival. The hall is open, no seats, no seats on the floor, and on the stage you'll have performances going on throughout the whole show.
Did we mention where?
Talia Hall.
At the infamous Talia Hall,
yeah,
baby.
yeah, Talia Hall. Yeah, it's a great venue
In Pilsen.
in Pilsen, and then we're gonna have also a taquero. Taquero
Nice.
vendors, some food, elotes.
I'm
tacos.
there.
Yeah.
So it's obviously it's 100% familiar. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's open like at 2 p.m. You said.
Yeah, doors open at 2 p.m.
Y ahí los vendors, obviamente, o los what you're gonna have is van a andar vendiendo recorditos y
Yeah, llaveros y aretes,
literally like
purses.
walking into a little shop like festival thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Indoor
badass.
fest.
I know you're gonna have the mariachi, and you have the mariachi has a mariachi for kids.
Yeah, the mariachi, the director, it's Mariachi Monumental de Mexico. Shout out to
Monumental.
them. The director
muchos saludos.
has a program at a school, and they have about 50 members. Kids
50?
50, yeah,
Kids.
kids, and they're gonna
that's
be
crazy.
performing as well.
Oh, that one is the 50.
the
The
50.
monumental is
The Monumental's gonna perform, and then the kids.
The
are
50
also-
kids.
the
50
kids,
mariachi
yeah.
kids.
They're gonna throw
God
down.
damn,
Yeah.
That's gonna be badass.
Yeah.
Damn. What else you got? And then they're gonna dance. Obviously, you're gonna dance.
Yeah, we're gonna dance, and then our kids groups are gonna dance, and then we have there's a program called Casa. Casa has some schools in the city of Chicago that have a folklorico program. It's through the National Museum of Mexican Art,
Nice.
based out of Pilsen too, and they're gonna be joining us with some other groups from the schools performing as well.
They're also gonna perform.
Yeah.
And then you're also gonna have live music. I know all these guys just because we're gonna partake with Rafa, help him push the event, get the people out there. It's something that's for the family. It's something to push the
For the culture.
The culture. It's y más que nada because it's Rafa on our end, because we've known him for so many years.
Thank you, bro.
And it's just something that it's family. It's something that works out. And at the end of the day, it's Memorial Day Monday. You're gonna go somewhere, go check it out in Pilsen. It's at Talia Hall, which is a great venue. It's early, so there's no
Yeah.
excuse like I gotta go work tomorrow. We'll go early. It opens at 2, and by the time this comes out, there's gonna be the promo out with the live bands they're gonna play and whatnot.
Sí.
So just check it out. That's gonna be también accesible. It's not like no quiero que la gente también piense que va a ser un baile cuanta madre. No, it's an indoor festival. It's 100% family style. As far as financials, nada que ver. I think it's pretty. I don't want to say cheap, right? But in comparación uno que está acostumbrado a the nightlife,
Yeah,
it's like
gonna be
fucking
$20.
$20.
Yeah.
$20
ticket.
tickets, Eventbrite. You can obviously buy at the door as well.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a good one, bro. Monday the 30th. Y aunque no vayan, ustedes vayan y compren pinche boletos
El
ahí
boleto.
online. Sí, porque tomos va para la causa, va para que siga el buen amigo Rafa aquí con la academia to keep doing the whole dancing thing because you know what? I think it's the perfect time for you, bro. I think it's the perfect time for you.
Yeah.
You're young. I mean, I can see you doing this for the rest of your life and being successful at it. And I hope that the kids do come along. And más que nada, the parents. You know?
The parents, yeah.
And you're located again on Archer and what you said?
Yeah, it's Archer and Kenneth. It's 5200 South Archer Avenue.
Igual, y ahí también pueden ir. Ahí tienes clases cuando.
Yeah, any Saturday they can show up, and they can between the hours of 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. and we'll be there.
There's something going on there.
Yeah, or they can send us a message on social media.
Yeah.
And we can make appointments if that's better for
Repeat your social medias, bro, real quick,
Uh,
just so we can have them on right here towards the end.
Yeah, our Facebook is La Academia, a Mexican Dance Academy, and our Instagram is La Academia Mex Dance.
You want to drop a number or nah?
Yeah,
Así
sure.
con eso, dale.
Yeah, that's
Lo
my
que
number.
tú quieras, güey.
You guys can text 708-248-3182.
Vale.
708-248-3182.
Ah, huevo. Compa Bart.
I fucking love it.
Sign
bro.
up,
I
buddy.
fucking- I email
We
an
need
event.
guide dancers,
For sure, I'll be at the event. I don't know
Good.
if I'm
That's
gonna sign
enough.
up.
No, that's
I
enough.
don't know if I'm gonna sign up, but I mean, I love it, bro. The whole thing with just keeping the culture alive, you know. And definitely, I feel that like you guys are saying about the ballet, it's the same thing as putting your kid in the sport, man.
Yeah.
They could bring them in and. cheaper, I'm sure. I mean, my sister always fucking had my nephews in baseball their lives,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it wasn't cheap, running around,
Right.
going to all these games and buying them all this,
Especially like
stuff,
traveling teams.
So
Traveling teams are pricey, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So I mean, I just love what you're doing, and I'm sure that people, even the price that you gave, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think it's a lot for.
I mean, we're
for,
gonna-
for what
what it is.
you're teaching them.
Yeah.
They're getting that fucking culture.
2 years
So I
down the
love
road,
it.
we're gonna look back and be like, man, this guy was only charging $90, bro. Back then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like blah blah blah. The number that he, hopefully, he's gonna get there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
especially like I like what you said about like a lot of people did lose their jobs during this fucking past couple years of
Yeah.
COVID and shit, and
Yeah.
and I mean what's important to you is still getting them there and
Yeah,
teaching
sure.
them, and just
Yeah.
you. I could tell how much you want to instill the culture into everybody. So I love what you're doing, and I hope you keep doing it for
Thank you,
many
bro.
years. And we'll be there at the event. Everybody, I hope everybody comes out and checks it out because
Awesome.
I'm
Hell
sure it's
yeah.
gonna be a great event.
Well, como dije, I mean, I'm gonna get all my AMG guys to at least take a quick look at the event, and I think it's gonna be cool. Really quick, ahorita me acordé. Do you have any this year outings as far as performances to a different country or different region or anything like that?
Yeah, so we do have a Puerto Vallarta performance.
Sheesh.
Oh, man, let me go to that one.
Vámonos.
You guys
All of
wanna
a sudden,
Sign me up.
I'll
put
teach you
the
that.
fucking candle on top. Let's
I'll
do
teach you
this.
A
the
little bit
I'll
of
teach you
glue
the
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, every year. So I have a good friend.
Sheesh.
Vámonos.
I have a good friend, Pedro Cruz. I don't know if you ever met Peter.
Peter.
Maybe. Pedro Cruz. Saludos
He
a
a
Pedro.
singer?
No, he does folklorico. He's from Veracruz.
Okay.
He was living out in Puerto Vallarta, and I would go visit him, all the time. And one day we were talking, like, bro, we should make an event here. They have a built-in stage. It's called Los Arcos at the beach.
Oh, I just saw somebody. They were on somebody's story that is out there right now, and they were at that
Los Arcos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at an event like that. It was folklorico and mariachi and
Yeah.
stuff.
It was Rafa. and shit.
No,
No, yeah.
it's gonna be in
That's-
June, but
that's
so
cool.
we started doing that every year, and it was kind of like, well, how do we go about this? I was like, bro, let's just go to the cultural center and just ask, and we went, and it worked out. So we're doing that once a year. So that's our next
Yeah.
travel.
badass.
travel
Wait,
league.
once a year, every year, you go
In
to
the
Puerto
summer.
Vallarta?
Yeah.
Damn.
Obviously, we
Más
didn't
chingón in the
go.
summer.
We didn't go in the COVID
Vámonos.
years.
Right,
but-
right.
But yeah. The goal is once a year. There's
How long are
actually,
you out there for, Rafa?
We're out there for about 7-8 days.
I like that.
But we
It's
only
like we danced
perform-
2 days.
Exactly,
But
bro.
we're there for the
yeah, that's what I said. I was like, look, we're gonna dance 2 days, and that's
But
it.
I need 9 days stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So everybody has time to have a good time,
Yes.
And then how deep do you go down there, bro? Like as far as students.
So this year, it was
have a
tough.
big ass-
It was tough the first time, but this year we have a group out of Indiana that reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, we heard you do a Puerto Vallarta thing in the summer, and we want to take 10 dancers." And I was like, "All right, let's go."
Cool.
And then we have 8 dancers confirmed now, and then our kids, some of those parents are still gonna confirm who's going, who's not. So I'm thinking maybe about 25 or 30 people, will go. It's a great experience for the students.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, Puerto Vallarta, they, they're not paying for this performance in their public space. They're really just giving us the the permit to use the public space. So it works out both ways. Yeah.
I like that Puerto Vallarta idea.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Sign us up for that one.
Yes, sir.
We'll
Jose's
drive the
gonna
bus.
Dance and all.
The what?
I said Jose's gonna dance and all.
Hell yeah.
Sign him up.
We'll drive the bus on that one, man. Mi compa Rafa, pues other than that, man, I mean, I don't know if you want to send a special shout out to anybody that, on your staff or,
Yeah, I do
your
wanna send
people.
a shout out to-
Aprovecha de una vez, bro.
Yeah. To the team that makes everything work. The closest, I would say, is like the closest 3-4 dancers. Janet, Karen, and Jonathan. They help me out with everything.
Salud.
Also all the parents, man. The parents come through. With COVID it was difficult, but they were down to like put on a mask on their kids and make it work. So
Yeah.
A shout out to all the parents in the company and every member that makes this run.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, congrats, bro. Congrats.
Thank
we
you.
can
For sure.
we can't wait. I think that you are gonna be someone that we've had certain people on the pod, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record 'cause it's almost everyone.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we've had like, Gilo.
Yeah.
Like we had Fern come in here talking about fishing.
Yeah.
We don't fish. We
Right.
don't dance.
Right.
But yet, I would still love to hear more stories of, all your stories you got going on when you go out of town, when you go out of the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
Anything that you can share with us. Y pues más que nada, any upcoming shows, man. Not just because of the May 30th one, but
Yeah.
whatever it is that one day you might have something big going on, let us know so we can come out here and promote it and
For
push
sure.
it.
Talk about it.
Yeah, get
Thank
people
you.
out there to, show some support, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're doing other things with our money that we can, it's not even much, man. It's just like, let's
Yeah.
go out there and fucking show a little support.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thank you.
Rafa, thank you very much. Hey, any last comments for you, bro?
No, bro.
¿Cómo anda hoy?
Keep doing
Chingón.
it. Y nos
Thank you.
invitan a Puerto Vallarta también.
Sí,
huevo.
Digo, para Rafa,
For
thank
sure.
you very much.
Thank you
Please
for-
follow La Academia. Please hit them
Yes,
up.
sir.
If you guys have any questions, you can send a message to Puros Compas podcast as well. Cualquier preguntita, pues we'll give you guys their number, bro. Keep subscribing our YouTube. Keep following us, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. To mi compa Jose Cermeña in the audio, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Hope you guys enjoyed this
Shout out
one.
to
Be on the
some
lookout
guy.
for lo que viene. Read a book.
Ding dong.